Good morning, Dana.
Good morning, Melissa. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Good. I'm so excited you're joining me today.
Thank you.
Really, she's not joining me, people. I forced her into this. Let's be clear here. I was like, oh, you're doing an interview with me. And she was like, ah! So,
I even got up and put makeup on this morning. So
me too. It's so exciting. I'm really excited Dana's here with us because she has created a company that is going to help revolutionize, and you know I'm all about revolution.
Yeah.
Revolutionize the way people engage in local politics all over the country, I think. So, Dana, tell us a little bit about yourself and why you started your company.
Well, I came into politics in a really weird way. I did not start out, most people in politics that get involved in politics do it from the college level up. They go into political science. That's what their degrees are in. Nope. Mine's in liberal arts with a degree in managing law offices. So I was a paralegal for about 15 years. Got tired of working for attorneys, so I started my own business, being a virtual assistant, working for attorneys. I just couldn't get out of it. But then I eventually started working with speakers and being a speaker agent. And in 2016, when it was actually the night of the Republican National Convention, in all honesty, I was in the bedroom watching it, screaming at the TV, while my husband was in the living room watching it, screaming at the TV, because we couldn't be in the same room together, screaming at the TV. And when I realized who was going to be the nominee, I thought, I can't support this man. And I was a lifelong Republican. So I girded my loins and went into the living room and said, okay, I realize that this may cause a divorce, but I can't vote for this man and I can't support him. And my husband said at that time, oh, thank God, if he's elected, he will ruin this country.
And how prophetic of a statement was that, sitting
Seriously.
here in March of 2020?
And we both kind of went, okay, Hillary's going to win. She's got the strongest campaign and, she's going to do this. And the American people can't be that stupid.
Unless someone is hacking an election or something.
So that's, long story short of my past.
So for those of you that are watching, I did not know that story. And I'm a little bit like, okay, continue.
So I got involved with my local Dem club, and because I'm such an organized soul, one of the city council members who was running for re-election asked me if I would run her coordinated campaign, who was running with another incumbent and another new candidate. So I ran those three campaigns. They were coordinated. They took 1, 2, 3 out of the 5 people running, beat out 2 other incumbents. Mm-hmm. So we had 4 incumbents, 1 newbie running for 3 positions.
Yep.
So that was that. The next year, one of the city council members asked me to run for commission race. We did that, flipped the commission from Republican control for over 40 years to Democratic control finally.
Wow.
Yes. And then after that, I was asked to run a ballot initiative, which didn't get off the ground due to funding. Mm-hmm. So the person that was going to do that said, okay, well, I'm running for state house. I want you to manage my campaign. And after my moment of, oh my God, I can't do something like that, she goes, oh, buck up, sister, you can do it. So now I'm running her campaign, the commissioner's reelection campaign, advising on 2 other campaigns. And I have created a program where you can stop freaking out about running for office, because if it's something that you want, you don't need to freak out about it, because this is your calling and this is your passion.
Because it's not that hard, right?
It's not.
It's complicated to run for office. And if you have a great campaign strategist like yourself and a good team around you, it's easy to run for office.
Yeah, if you build your base and you build your foundation and you know what you want to do, the rest is just gravy. The rest is just easy.
I love though that I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I have to say this. I love that you approach this from both sides of the perceived aisle, right?
Yeah.
Like you are a lifelong Republican turned Democrat. You know, so you can see the whole picture. You aren't just looking at one side of the picture.
Right.
Having done this for a lifetime, right? Like you said, a lot of people, I mean, I've been in politics since I was 17. So like, this is not I've been playing politics forever. So I love that you have these fresh eyes and these fresh ideas. One of the things that you and I were talking about yesterday is that a campaign has 4 components to it.
Right.
You talked about framing your message, building your base, bringing people together, and creating a community. So can you talk a little bit about what it looks like for people who are thinking about running for office, or who are running for office and now have to virtually run for office? Can you talk about framing your message, building your base, bringing people together, and creating a community for a minute?
Sure. In all honesty, we're still trying to figure out how to run a campaign virtually. I mean, this is all brand new.
But I know you, and you're going to do it.
Yeah. It's like, oh crap, what do we do? Anyway, like you said, the 4 components of running a successful campaign. Let's start with framing your message. Any good campaign is going to start with a simple message that you can just blurt out. My House candidate's message is power through community. And she came to that message because her district has 2 cities in it, Farmington and Farmington Hills, which have operated mostly as 2 separate entities, and she wants to bring them together and stop being Farmington versus Farmington Hills. So that's why her message is so important. And
building your base,
because power through community is so important to her. She's spending a lot of time in the Farmington community. She lives in Farmington Hills. She's on Farmington Hills City Council. Farmington Hills is her home. So she's spending time in Farmington, building her base, building her community there. So that's how that works. And I love that she does that.
Yeah, that's incredible. I think it's incredible when candidates really think about building their base and don't just stay within their comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like they really get out of their comfort zone and actually ideally build their base. I think it's really powerful.
Yeah,
when you
absolutely.
think about when you think about and conceptualize for candidates how they can bring people together and create a community, what does that look like to you?
That means having the hard conversations, being able to go into a community where, you know, you're not beloved. You know, you need to go somewhere where people aren't going to stroke your ego all the time and have those conversations.
Yes.
It's hard. It's a hard thing to do. And if you can't do it, you need to back out and help organize a campaign until you do get able to have those hard conversations.
So when you're working with candidates, how do you help them get through having those hard conversations and having to put their ego to the side and really talk to all the voters, not just the safe voters?
We do some, now I've lost the word. We practice a lot.
Lots of rehearsal.
Lots of rehearsal, and I'm blessed to know quite a few people who are able to turn on a dime and do opposition for them. So I'll bring a bunch of them together and say, okay, we're gonna really hammer right now, and we do that. And Sam at one point has said, oh my God, people are just kicking my butt, and I'm like, okay, you're ready, let's go.
Good.
And she's a born fighter anyway, so.
Do you like working with those candidates that are born fighters?
Oh yeah, because I'm a born fighter. My entire family has always said, you find the underdog and that's who you're going to root for. I went to a major university in Oklahoma, like major university, but I root for the opposite guys all the time.
I do that too. It's so fun.
And then when I moved to Michigan, people always thought, oh, she's going to like U of M. She's going to like U of M. I can't stand U of M. Sorry, everybody that goes to U of M or went to U of M. But yeah, I'm a Spartan fan through and through. My blood flows green.
That's fight words right there, girl. Naughty.
I know, but
So we alluded a minute ago to this idea about running virtually during this pandemic, because campaigns haven't stopped just because we've had to really stay at home.
Right.
So how do you conceptualize, how do you help women in particular, but anyone who's running for office who feel like they have no support? Like, what are a couple of tools that you provide to people that work with you who feel like they have no support?
Well, getting on Zoom calls or some kind of web-based where you can see faces of people every once in a while. We're starting to roll out teletown halls this week. So it's basically going to be like a AMA type of thing, ask me anything. So we're going to start doing that this week. And we also hold our meetings by Zoom as well. And that helps because in the past, we've spent a lot of time together. You know, she would come to my house and just hang out and do her call time. Or my field operations manager would come over here and hang out and do her field operations stuff because my printer works better than hers. So my house is just like a revolving door. People always in and out, which, you know, that's fine.
Which is how campaigns run, by the way.
Basically, yeah. And
people have this idea that campaigns are like these fancy things that happen in fancy offices with fancy people. And campaigns aren't like that. They're like, one of my favorite stories that Cecile Richards always talks about is that when she was growing up, when Ann Richards was running for governor, she thought that it was normal for her friends to sit at the dinner table and cut precincts and do and fold lit. Yeah. Like, she thought everybody did that. And she remembers going to dinner at a friend's house about that same time, and they were having a dinner with no political conversation. And she always said she didn't know what to do because she was like, what's happening right now? I don't know what's happening right now. Like, she couldn't comprehend that you sit at the dinner table and you cut precincts, and you look at a precinct. For people who aren't super political, you look at a precinct map and you decide where you're going to walk and what the houses are, and you fold the literature yourself and then go and walk. So one of the things you do, so you work on a bunch of campaigns. It's not just, you just have one predominantly right now, but you work
I have two. Yeah.
You have two. So you work on all levels of races, right? Like, you don't work just on big races. You work on smaller races too, like city, county races, right?
I think all politics that matter are local. And by local, that means state level down. I don't ever see myself working on a federal level campaign. It's just, I think you lose control of the things that matter the most to people.
I love that, Dana. And I love that because I think that what I really want people to understand is that what matters is what's happening when people are coming in and out of your house to help your candidate.
Yeah.
Like, this is not fancy schmancy stuff that's happening. This is real person to person local politics, right?
Yeah. It's like my dining room table up until 3 weeks ago was campaign central. I had everybody's lit sitting there, had my paper cutter sitting there. Right now it's filled with guitar parts because my teenage son is taking apart his guitars and rewiring. So
the lit has moved.
The lit has moved.
So you're thinking, I've got to you're creating virtual campaign content, right? And you have a new program that you're offering to candidates virtually called the Campaign Blueprint.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit more? Give us a little taste of what the Campaign Blueprint is.
A little taste. When I've talked to candidates newly entering races, and I just had a conversation last week with somebody entering or wanting to enter a race, and she kept saying, I just keep freaking out about this. I keep freaking out about this. And I said, stop freaking the F out about this. It'll all fall out into place. And this light bulb just went bing. And it's like, okay, we need to stop freaking out about this stuff.
Yeah.
If we frame the message that you want to get across, that shapes everything. That shapes not only the communications that you have on your print media, your earned media, your own media, which means your website, your social media and stuff like that, but it also frames who you go ask for money, not only your friends, but groups that are endorsing you.
Yeah.
Because if you're totally into the environment and you want money from people who are building, that's not going to work together too well.
Right.
So, you can't say, don't cut down any trees and then go ask for money from the realtors.
Right. So you have a 6-point plan that you walk people through and help them stop freaking the F out. Right.
It's actually 5 points. And
oh, it's 5. Okay.
Yeah. The first thing you do, like I said, you frame your message.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about, if we boil it down to a very simple phrase that you can remember, 3 to 5 words, that's going to drive everything that you do.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a process for this, and it can be long and arduous, or it can be really easy, just depending on,
how quick
what
you
you believe.
Go away. Yep. What's the second one?
Second one is stop freaking out about your money, because when you get your message framed, that's going to help you figure out where your money is going to flow from. And your circle wants you to succeed.
Yeah.
And whether they give you $5 or $500, that's going to prove that they want you to succeed. And
I really love that you help people with money, because regardless of how we feel about campaigns and money, campaigns run on money.
Campaigns run on money.
They don't run on volunteers, they run on money.
Exactly.
And if you learn how to leverage that game, it makes you all that more powerful. And
yes, it can be hard to ask for money when it's something.
Yep.
One candidate hates asking for money, the other one has no problem with it.
Yep.
So the one candidate that hates asking for money, she gives me the list and I call and say, hey, I need $100.
Yeah.
So I raised $1,000 in 2 hours for her one day.
Right. I mean, it's not rocket science.
Right. It's not.
So what's the third thing?
Third thing is stop freaking out about your support team, because once you get your message in place, you're going to find the people that follow you. You're going to find your community that want to help you succeed.
Yes.
And if they don't have the money to help you, then they've got the hours to help you.
Yes.
I mean, it's so precious to me that I have somebody picking up 100 postcards. And she said, I'll write these postcards out. I don't have enough for the postage. I'm like, that's fine. We can do the postage. Fourth thing is stop freaking out about how you say what you want to say, because when you get clear with your message, when you get clear with what you want to communicate, it's going to come easy for you. Practice makes perfect with that. And then the fifth thing is stop freaking out about your voters, because once you're clear on everything, once you know where your message comes from, where your money comes from, where your volunteers and your support comes from, your voters are going to follow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's incredible. And you've simplified it to the point where it doesn't matter what level of office you're thinking of running for.
Right.
This blueprint that you're offering to people is just lovely. It's lovely. I'm so, it makes me so excited. It's so innovative, and I'm really
sorry.
happy.
My nose is running because allergies are kicking my butt today.
You're okay. You're totally fine. As long as it's not the coronavirus, we're good.
It's not. I haven't been outside my house in 3 weeks.
So I just want to ask you a couple of really quickie questions.
Okay.
The first one is, what do you think is the most important thing people need to know about campaigns in 2020?
It's not hard, and don't make it hard. And we are entering a whole new way of campaigning. And I see that it's going to be more personal.
Mm-hmm.
I also think that we're going to get back to some kind of semblance of normal life in 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And when I had this conversation with one of the people that I'm working with, because she was freaking out, she hasn't launched her campaign yet, I said, you know what? We'll do a virtual launch for you right now. Mm-hmm. File your paperwork. We'll do a virtual launch, start giving you a little bit of money, because you don't need a whole lot right now. And she said, okay, but what do I do in 3 months? I said, in 3 months, we'll just reassess. We'll just have to keep reassessing where we are.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen in 3 months. We don't know what's going to happen in 6 months. I just trust that we're going to be able to be with other people. I hope to God we're able to be with other people in 6 months, because if I can't go without hugs from people for that long.
I know, I miss hugging people too. I love this though, because what you're talking about is the opportunity, file your paperwork and get ready to, and start running, but start running on social media, start running by going live on Facebook and introducing yourself to people, start running by connecting with people virtually and letting your friends know what you're doing and really building up that base. I think actually it's a huge opportunity for campaigns to be able to do that. So
it really is, because you're getting an opportunity to actually take quite a bit of time and refine what you're saying and how you say it.
Yeah.
Before you actually get thrown out into the mix and have to talk to people face to face.
Yeah, it's amazing. And then my second question for you is, what is your gut instinct telling you about what's next? What is your gut saying about what's next?
What's next for who?
Anything.
Well, like I said, I think we're going to be back to some kind of normal life in 6 months. I think that McConnell will be reelected, unfortunately, because that's just the way I feel. I do, however, think that the Senate's going to get flipped.
And that's going to be a very interesting day.
That will be a very interesting day, and it will be such a delight to me to watch McConnell have no power whatsoever and have to sit there and watch all of the things that he's blocked get passed.
Yeah, it will change the way we run politics in America. I think it's going to be very different. I hope so.
I hope so too.
I do really love Amy McGrath and her sass and her sauce. So
there are 10 people running for that Senate seat.
I know, it's crazy.
I know.
So many people. Thank you so much for your time. How can people find you?
They can find me on my Facebook page, which is, let me get it pulled up here because I don't remember what my thing is. It's called Encompass Campaigns. And it's
ENCOMPASS, yes.
ENCOMPASS Campaign Management. And
Facebooks.
Yep, on the Facebook. And I will put a post on there with a link to more information about this program on my Facebook page.
Good. And I will make sure that we also link to more information about the campaign blueprint so that people can investigate it if they want to, because you don't just have to, because it's virtual. Anybody for office can access your services, which is really amazing.
And basically the way this program works is you have a 20-minute phone call with me every other week, and then you get a little homework assignment to complete in between it.
That's awesome. So awesome. I love it. You're amazing.
You're amazing.
Thank you for the work you do in the
world.
I
love your necklace too.
Thanks. My husband bought it for me when I got my PhD. It's magic. He needs it. He has a guy. I don't know.
And your Christmas lights are my Christmas lights too. I just noticed that.
Oh, yeah, I keep them up all year because I love them so much. They make me happy.
We actually have ours in the kitchen right now because nobody knows how to turn off lights in the kitchen. So
smart thinking.
I just put up Christmas lights.
Mm-hmm. So easy. I love you, Dana. Thank you for
being with us
today. You're amazing.